Have you ever wondered why certain behaviors seem almost predictable? Why do conflicts tend to escalate more frequently in stores? Why does that irresistible salty appetizer always grace your table at restaurants? You have been manipulated. Let's find out how it works. The influence of social proof. Imagine passing by a restaurant with a line stretching around the corner. The immediate thought that comes to mind? It must be fantastic. This is the essence of social proof, our tendency to rely on the behavior of others to guide our own choices. In bustling stores, the concept of social proof thrives. When we see others engaging with products or forming clusters around specific displays, our curiosity is piqued. We interpret this as an indicator of value and relevance. The digital landscape amplifies social proof. Online reviews and ratings serve as digital word of mouth, guiding our choices from behind the screen. Positive reviews can nudge us toward a purchase, while negative ones can steer us away. From ancient tribal instincts to the modern digital era, social proof continues to influence us. The psychological principle behind it is simple. If many others find value in something, it's likely worth our attention too. Whether it's the launch of the latest tech gadget or the opening day of a movie, the crowd itself becomes an endorsement. The mere presence of a large group signals that something is noteworthy. Social proof operates on the principle of conformity, a natural tendency to align our actions with those around us. This phenomenon ranges from our dining choices to the products we buy. So, next time you find yourself swayed by a crowded restaurant or a product with countless positive reviews, remember that you're tapping into the psychology of social proof. It's a reminder that our decisions are often shaped by the collective behaviors of the masses. Conclusion: navigating the currents of influence. The power of framing. How is the way information presented can influence our perceptions and decisions? Imagine you're considering purchasing a product. On one label, it's listed as $1.99, and on another, it's presented as under $100. These seemingly minor differences in framing can wield substantial influence over our choices. The psychology of framing teaches us that how information is presented can impact how we interpret it. Whether it's a pricing strategy, a political message, or a news headline, the framing can shape our understanding. In marketing, framing is a powerful tool. Consider a product described as 90% fat-free versus 10% fat. The former highlights a positive aspect, while the latter emphasizes a negative one. These framing choices affect how we perceive the product's healthiness. Framing extends to news and media. The choice of words and headlines can evoke different emotions and opinions. For instance, economic downturn versus opportunities in challenging times elicit contrasting reactions. Advertisements often present a problem followed by a solution, conveying the emotional relief we'll feel when using a particular product or service. Framing is prevalent in politics too. The choice of words in speeches and debates can sway public opinion. By framing an issue positively or negatively, politicians influence how we perceive their stance. So, next time you encounter information, whether it's a product description, a news headline, or a political statement, pause and consider the framing. Recognize that the way information is presented can color your perception and influence your choices. Conclusion: framing the future. The decoy effect. Imagine you're at a coffee shop contemplating your drink size. You're presented with a regular-sized cup and a larger cup for just a little more. This is where the decoy effect comes into play. The decoy effect exploits our tendency to change our preference between two options when a third, less attractive option is introduced. It nudges us towards a specific choice by making one alternative seem more appealing than another. Let's delve deeper into the mechanics of the decoy effect. In the popcorn scenario, the medium size costs $7 and the large is $8. At first glance, the large might seem like a better deal. But then the decoy enters the scene, the jumbo size for $8.50. Suddenly, the large seems like the most reasonable option, and the decoy effect has subtly influenced your decision. Retailers and marketers are adept at using the decoy effect to their advantage. By introducing a decoy option, they manipulate our perception of value and guide us towards the choice that aligns with their objectives. But how does the decoy effect work on a psychological level? It triggers a cognitive bias called compromise effect. When faced with options, we often choose the middle ground, a compromise between the decoy and the more expensive option. It's a subtle nudge towards the retailer's preferred choice. Real-world applications of the decoy effect abound. From pricing strategies to subscription plans, its influence is widespread. Even in voting scenarios, the introduction of a moderate candidate can sway support towards a more extreme option. By understanding the psychology behind this phenomenon, you can make choices that truly align with your preferences. Conclusion: deciphering the decoy. The anchoring effect. How can a simple number profoundly impact our perception of value and influence our purchasing decisions? Imagine you're at a clothing store, drawn to a sign that reads 40% off the original price. This is where the anchoring effect comes into play. The anchoring effect is a cognitive bias where the first piece of information we receive, the anchor, strongly influences our subsequent judgments and decisions. In the context of pricing, the initial number we encounter becomes the reference point for evaluating all other prices. Let's say you're shopping for a smartphone. You come across two models, one priced at $800 and another at $1,200. Even if the $1,200 model is more than you initially intended to spend, it seems reasonable when compared to the higher anchor price. Marketers and retailers strategically use the anchoring effect to guide our perception of value. By introducing a high anchor price, whether real or imagined, they can make other options seem like a bargain in comparison. But how does the anchoring effect play out in our minds? It often leads to what's known as insufficient adjustment. We tend to adjust our judgment from the anchor, but not enough to make truly objective decisions. This subtle bias can lead us to make choices that might not align with our true preferences. The anchoring effect is present in everyday scenarios, from retail to negotiation. Even when haggling at a market, the first price mentioned becomes the anchor that shapes the rest of the negotiation. By being aware of the anchoring effect, you can approach purchasing decisions more consciously. Take a moment to question the initial anchor price and evaluate options based on their true value to you. Conclusion: untethering from anchors. The influence of scarcity and exclusivity. Welcome to the final scene, where we delve into the captivating realm of scarcity and exclusivity, a concept that wields remarkable power over our decisions and desires. Imagine stumbling upon a limited edition sign or hearing about an exclusive event. The allure of these opportunities taps into our instinctual fear of missing out, or FOMO. Scarcity is a psychological principle that highlights the perceived value of something when it's in short supply. Our minds associate rarity with high worth, making us more inclined to desire and pursue scarce items or experiences. Luxury brands masterfully use scarcity to maintain their prestige. Limited production runs, one-of-a-kind pieces, and exclusive access to events create an aura of exclusivity that entices discerning customers. Scarcity can trigger a rush of adrenaline, a feeling that you must act quickly before the opportunity slips away. This heightened emotion can influence impulse purchases and drive us to secure a coveted item. Countdown timers, only a few left notifications, and flash sales are tactics that harness the psychology of scarcity. They ignite urgency and push us to make decisions we might not have otherwise. But here's where awareness plays a crucial role. While scarcity can enhance the appeal of a product or experience, it's important to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, do I genuinely value this item, or am I swayed solely by its perceived rarity? By maintaining a conscious mindset, you can harness the positive aspects of scarcity while avoiding impulsive choices. Conclusion: navigating the illusion. If this exploration piqued your curiosity, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned!